Today I have two phones. On the left, a Pixel running official GrapheneOS, and on the right, a Motorola running something based on it. And at first glance, visually, they look similar. Same settings, layout, same security options. Even things like memory protections and app restrictions show up here, but they are not the same system. Both are running latest Android 16 with up-to-date patches. I also installed it on a Samsung, and it behaves almost the same there too. So what exactly is going on here? All right, let's start with what this actually is. What's running on these devices is not GrapheneOS. This is called RestlessOS. Think of it like this. This is using parts of GrapheneOS, but without the hardware it was designed for. It's an unofficial independent fork, built from GrapheneOS source code, but packaged as a GSI, a generic system image. That's what makes it boot on devices like Samsung, Motorola, and on many devices that supports GSI installation. And just to be clear, this project is not affiliated with the GrapheneOS team. They does not build, support, or endorse this project. Now, before we go into limitations, let's look at what actually works. I've been using this on both Samsung and Motorola for a while now. And surprisingly, calls work. Mic works. Camera, honestly better than I expected. Photos come out clean. Video recording works. I tested it at multiple resolutions, no freezing, no random crashes. It's not the stock Google camera experience. But for a device that was never supposed to run this, it's more than usable. Performance is decent for daily use. Scrolling is smooth, apps open fine. Nothing feels broken. You can even install Google Play services if you need it. And here's the part that actually matters. Play services runs inside a sandbox. It behaves like a normal app. No deep system access, no background privileges. That alone puts it ahead of most stock ROMs. Now let's talk about the features inspired by GrapheneOS that show up here. Duress pin works. You set a secondary pin, someone forces you to unlock your phone, you enter that pin instead, and it triggers a secure wipe process. I tested it. It triggers. Private space works too. You get a completely separate profile, hidden from your main space, locked independently. Per app network permission. This one is actually useful. You can block individual apps from accessing the internet entirely at the OS level, not through a VPN workaround. Exploit protection settings are there. Memory tagging, hardened thread stacks, secure app spawning, all showing up in the settings. But again, seeing these options doesn't mean they behave the same way underneath. But this is where you need to slow down, because there's a difference between a feature existing and a feature actually doing what it was designed to do. And visually, yes, this looks like GrapheneOS. Same interface, same options, same everything on the surface, but the moment you look at what's running underneath, it's a completely different picture. And this is exactly where most people get it wrong. They see the settings, they run the tests, everything triggers, and they think, okay, this is basically the same thing. It's not. Your bootloader is unlocked. There's no proper verified boot, no real chain of trust. On a Pixel, GrapheneOS relies on hardware-backed security. Things like secure elements, attestation, rollback protection. That entire layer is either missing here or not properly used. And on top of that, you're running this on your phone's original kernel and vendor layer, which breaks a lot of assumptions. So while some protections still exist, some are incomplete, and some don't really apply in the same way. So no, this is not a secure replacement for GrapheneOS on a Pixel, but that doesn't mean it's useless. If you look at it differently, this is actually a very interesting setup. You get a cleaner Android experience, less OEM bloat, sandboxed Google Play services, and more control over your device. And so it really depends on what you want. If your goal is maximum security, use a supported Pixel device. But if you like experimenting, or you just want a clean, controlled Android experience, this is worth trying. Now, if you're wondering how to actually install this, the process is not very different from a typical GSI setup. You need an unlocked bootloader, a device that supports Project Treble, and basic fastboot access. I'm not going to go step by step here, because I already have a full detailed guide on my channel, showing how to install a GSI on almost any Android phone. You can follow that and apply the same process here. Just make sure you understand what you're installing. because this is not official Graphene OS, and the trade-offs we talked about still apply.